he was wifing Brandy, you understand? And I don't think Sean was wifing her. I just think that they all was just young and having fun. But the part that threw me off, he said he was dating Puff main girl. And Puff main girl has always been Kim.
Sean Diddy Combs, a name fallen from grace, a legend turned villain. But how did he become one? The rituals. One voice finally said, breaking the silence after so long. But what rituals? Sacrifices, perhaps? And if so, what kind of sacrifices? Sean Diddy Combs, a name that has echoed through the music industry for decades, from chart-topping hits to his influential role in hip-hop culture. Diddy has been a central figure in entertainment, but recently, a startling claim has emerged, casting a shadow over his illustrious career. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, recently sat down for an interview, and man, what he shared blew everyone away. He started by talking about a time back in 1999 where Diddy was facing trial for a shooting that has happened at a nightclub. It was a big deal, and everyone was waiting to hear what would happen next. But Gene said that something strange happened right before the verdict came in, something that would make you question everything you thought you knew about Diddy.
Give me the backstory behind Diddy. He did a prayer where a bird died the day of the verdict.
Well, first of all, the Shine documentary, it was kind of emotional for me, bro, doing it, because they brought up Wolf's mother, right? Wolf's mother has always been an intricate part of helping Shine through his prison system, right? So when we were on our way to court, I knew that they were setting Shine up.
Gene described how, just hours before the verdict, Diddy took him to a Central Park in New York City. There was this odd calm around Diddy. He said Diddy dropped to his knees, right in the middle of the park, in front of a small crowd. At first, Gene didn't know what to think. But then, Diddy pulled out a bird. He doesn't know exactly where it came from, but it was a small bird, one of those you see sometimes fluttering around in the city.
Me and Puff stops in the Central Park, and we walk towards the boathouse. And I'm wondering where we going, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Gene watched as Diddy held the bird for a moment, and in a low voice, he mumbled something that Gene couldn't quite catch. Then, in what seemed like slow motion, Diddy released the bird. But here's the twist. The bird didn't just fly off into the sky. It fell right there on the ground, dead instantly.
But it looked like he had the white collar, because Puff said, yo, Gene, stay right here. And I stayed right there, and he kept on walking. So when Puff gets directly to the dude, he gets down on his knees. When he gets down on his knees, this man takes something, and it seemed like it had smoke in it, and he started doing it around Puff. And then he went back and forth. And then he went up and down with it, sideways with it, then back around him. And then he put it down. And then he put his hand on Puff's head, and I guess he started, saying something.
What Gene said is that the whole thing was a ritual. He said Diddy believed it would influence the outcome of his trial. The idea that the sacrifice of the bird would somehow change the fate of the court's decision. As Gene told the story, you could tell he was still a little shaken by it. He wasn't just recounting a weird moment, he was reliving it. He said the whole thing felt off, like something not quite right in the air, but he didn't know how to explain it at the time. It was a bizarre story, but it wasn't the first time Gene had seen things like this. Was Diddy really that desperate for the declaration of his innocence? Or was there something more sinister behind it all? The revelation has sent shockwaves through the public and media. Many are grappling with the implications of such a claim, especially considering Diddy's prominent status in the entertainment industry. Media outlets have been quick to report on the allegation, with some expressing skepticism, and others delving into the potential motivations behind the ritual. The public's reaction has been mixed, with some questioning the credibility of the claim, while others are intrigued by the possibility of a hidden side to the music mogul's persona. To really get why this allegation is so mind-blowing, we need to go back to December 27, 1999. It was a night that would go down in history for Diddy, and not in a good way. The scene was Club New York in the heart of Manhattan, and it wasn't just another night of partying. It turned into a full-blown drama. Diddy, his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and rapper Shine were all caught up in a shooting that left 3 bystanders injured. For Diddy, it wasn't just about the chaos of that night. It was the legal storm that followed. He and his bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, were slapped with charges of illegal weapons, possession, and bribery. Meanwhile, Shine was facing a much tougher rap sheet: attempted murder, assault, and reckless endangerment. It was a high-stakes trial that everyone was watching, from tabloids to legal experts. The case had all the trimmings of celebrity influence of the criminal justice system, money, power, and a whole lot of attention from the media. After a highly publicized trial, Diddy and Wolf walked away scot-free, cleared of all charges. Shine, on the other hand, wasn't as lucky. He ended up getting convicted on lesser charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison. While most folks were focused on the legal wrangling and the spectacle of celebrity in court, Gene Deal alleges that something way out of the ordinary was going on behind the scenes. And that was what he meant. Diddy resorted to some pretty unconventional methods to try and beat the charges, pointing to the bizarre bird sacrifice ritual. Did Diddy pull out all the stops, resorting to something supernatural to change the outcome?
I didn't know it was a bird. I didn't know what it was at first. But he threw it up in the air. And when he threw it in the air, the came straight back down like it was a brick and said, "Pow!" on the concrete. And I was like, oh, that was a dove, that was a bird. Puff just got up. Puff just looked at the dude and just started walking towards me. And I was like, oh, and he's getting closer, and he's getting closer. As he's getting closer to me, in my mind, in my cynical mind, I'm just like this. I'm thinking about Jason, I'm thinking about Damien and all that shit like that.
When Gene's claims about Diddy and the alleged bird sacrifice ritual first hit the news, it was like the entertainment world had been punched in the gut. People couldn't believe what they were hearing. This wasn't just another rumor. This was a serious allegation, and it sparked heated debates everywhere. But Diddy's team hasn't said a word. No official statement. No denial, nothing. That's left a lot of people scratching their heads, wondering if there's some truth to it, or if it's all just smoke and mirrors. It's created this massive open loop that keeps everyone talking, but no one has the answers, yet. And for a fact, Gene Deal is not just some random guy making wild accusations. He was very close to Diddy for years. He was one of Diddy's bodyguards, so he obviously had access to some pretty intimate moments. But the big question now is, what's motivating him to come forward with this? Some people are speculating that maybe it's personal. Maybe there are old grudges or unfinished business between him and Diddy. Others think maybe he just wants the spotlight. Then there's the whole legal and ethical side of things. If these allegations were proven to be true, well, let's just say that the legal consequences could be huge. A ritual like that, tied to an ongoing trial, that's a lot to unpack. One of these allegations went public. The media rushed to cover them, but there's a huge responsibility that comes with that. They have to be careful to report the facts accurately, without jumping to conclusions. Experts in ritualistic practices and legal affairs offer varied perspectives on the plausibility of the alleged trial. Some suggest that such rituals are not uncommon in certain circles, while others view them with skepticism. Legal experts emphasize the need for concrete evidence to prove such serious claims. But what's the real story behind Gene Deal's claims about Diddy's alleged bird sacrifice? Well, as the investigation unfolded, things got even more intriguing. Some people came forward, blocking up Gene's story about a ritual involving a bird sacrifice. They described now, on the way to court, Diddy met a man in Central Park who handed him a white bird. Diddy then released the bird, which died instantly. This ritual was said to be a way to influence the trial's outcome. But hold on, it's not all clear out. Other individuals disputed these accounts, suggesting that the ritual might have been misinterpreted or exaggerated. After digging into the details, it's clear that the truth about the alleged bird sacrifice ritual remains murky. While some aspects have been proved, others are still up in the air. But what do you think? Are Gene Deal's claims about Diddy's alleged bird sacrifice ritual true? Let us know in the comment section below. And if this has you questioning everything, make sure to check out our other videos on Diddy for even more shocking details. You won't want to miss it.